Imagine waking up one morning and realizing that your masculinity, your strength, your pride, your very sense of manhood is gone. Not temporarily, not something that can be fixed with pills. Gone forever, withered, lifeless. And here's the worst part. It doesn't happen suddenly. It creeps up quietly, day after day. Not from aging, not from disease, but from something much more frightening, your daily habits. Harmless-looking combinations of foods, drinks, and supplements that, when mixed together, act like poison on your reproductive system. I'm not exaggerating. As a urologist who has been treating men over 60 for over 25 years, I've seen the same story too many times. Men who were active and strong suddenly lost their ability to get an erection. Not because of stress, not because of heart problems, but because they unknowingly combined common foods that block blood flow to the penis, lower testosterone levels, cause prostate inflammation, and desensitize the nerves in the pelvic area. And once that happens, in many cases, there's no turning back. Your penis is not just an organ. It is a precision instrument. It depends on perfect coordination between blood vessels, nerves, hormones, and mental focus. When you introduce the wrong combination of foods or supplements, even those considered healthy, you disrupt this system. And like a plant deprived of water and sunlight, your manhood can wither away permanently. This isn't about shock. It's about survival. If you want to remain sexually active, confident, and independent in your 70s and 80s, you need to understand which combinations to avoid. Because once your penis is completely softened, and I mean truly non-functional, no pills, no devices, and no doctors can bring it back. In a few minutes, I'll reveal the first deadly combination. It's something most men consume every morning. If you do this, you may already be on the road to irreversible loss. Before we dive into the first dangerous combination that's quietly destroying the sexual health of men over 60, let me introduce myself. I'm Dr. William, a retired urologist and men's health specialist. For over 25 years, I help thousands of older men regain their confidence, strength, and sexual vitality naturally. Not with gimmicks or empty promises, but with science, experience, and a deep understanding of how a man's body changes as he ages. I'm originally from New England, where I ran a small private practice focused solely on men's aging health, especially issues that no one wants to talk about. Prostate problems, loss of erection, declining testosterone, and the emotional toll it takes on a man. I've seen the fear in their eyes when things stopped working, and I've seen the relief when we brought it all back. Now in retirement, I've dedicated my time to sharing what I've learned, not in medical journals, but directly with you. Because the biggest danger older men face isn't age, it's ignorance. No one ever taught us what happens to our sexual systems after 60. And most of us are left to figure it out alone. But not anymore. You deserve the truth, and that's exactly what I'm here to give you. And one more thing, drop a quick comment below the video. Share your age, where you're from, and how you're feeling these days. Let's turn this into a brotherhood. A community of men who support each other through this stage of life with courage, wisdom, and strength. Because you're not alone, and you're not done. Next, I'll expose the first food combination that could be slowly shutting down your erections and the signs your body may already be giving you. Imagine this scenario. You're having lunch with friends, feeling good. You order a soy smoothie. It's good for your heart, right? Later in the evening, you relax with a glass of cold beer, maybe a dark one, because you've heard it's full-bodied and better for your health. Seems harmless, right? But here's what no one will tell you. That innocent-looking combination you've just consumed may be one of the most harmful things you could ever eat as a man over 60. And I'm not exaggerating. Both soy and beer, especially dark beer, contain phytoestrogens. These are plant compounds that behave exactly like estrogen in the body. Yes, female hormones. Now ask yourself, what happens to a man's body when it is filled with a substance it is not designed to handle? I'll tell you. It stops producing testosterone. This disrupts the hormonal balance. It weakens the prostate. It slows down blood flow to the genitals. Your body begins to change, not towards strength and masculinity, but towards softness, fatigue, emotional lethargy, and decreased sex drive. One day, you realize you've lost your edge. Then the morning erections disappear. You feel less desire, less confidence. And before you know it, you're looking in the mirror and wondering what happened to the man you used to be. I've seen it over and over again in my practice. Proud, healthy men who unknowingly kill their libido with these two seemingly normal choices. And the worst part is that it doesn't happen right away. It creeps up quietly, unnoticed, until the damage is deep and often irreversible. And this is where I ask you to pay close attention. If you miss even one piece of this information, everything else you do, your diet, your workouts, your supplements, may be a waste of time. That's how important it is. After all, you can't overtrain a hormonal system that is being sabotaged every day. You can't take enough pills to overcome poor circulation if the food you eat is undermining your male power. If you regularly consume soy or dark beer, your sexual health may already be at risk. But don't panic, not yet. After all, awareness is the first step to recovery. Here's what I want you to do right now. Leave a comment below this video and tell us, do you consume soy or beer? Don't be shy. This is just men helping each other stay strong, energetic, and sexually active. And stay tuned, because next I'm going to reveal the secret of a popular healthy product that most older men believe is good for them, but in fact, it quietly cuts off blood flow to the penis and brain. Miss this, and you'll never understand why your strength is disappearing. Let me tell you about Richard. Richard was 71 years old. He was a retired teacher, a proud father. He played golf twice a week, led a fairly active lifestyle, and considered himself to be in pretty good shape for his age. But when he came into my office, he wasn't smiling. He looked tired, disappointed, quiet. "Doctor, something's wrong," he said. "I haven't felt like myself for years. I have no energy, no sex drive. I don't feel like a man anymore." We ran some tests, blood work, hormone profile, circulation assessment. Nothing life-threatening, but something was clearly wrong. Then we started talking about his diet. It turned out that every morning he started his day with a soy protein shake for his heart, as he said. And every evening he rewarded himself with a glass or two of dark craft beer to relax. This combination, soy and hops, had been filling his body with phytoestrogens for years. The silent hormonal sabotage had made itself known. His testosterone levels were low. His prostate was inflamed. His libido had almost disappeared. I told him the truth, gently but firmly. "Richard, your body is producing more estrogen than a healthy man. And it's because of what you eat and drink every day." He was stunned. At first, he was angry, but then he was determined. We eliminated soy and beer from his daily diet. We balanced his diet with foods that promote testosterone production and improve blood circulation. And what happened in 3 months? He became energetic again. His sleep improved. And yes, his erections returned. He said to me with a smile, "I didn't think it was possible at my age, but I feel like a man again." That's why I keep saying, if you miss even one piece of this puzzle, everything else can fall apart. Now let's talk about another dangerous duo that almost everyone gets wrong: red meat and alcohol. Each of these foods can be consumed in moderation on its own, but when combined, especially the way most men do, a big steak and a glass of wine, whiskey, or beer, it's a metabolic disaster for your sexual health. Here's what happens. Red meat, especially if it's processed or fried, increases inflammation, raises cholesterol levels, and slows blood flow. Alcohol, in turn, temporarily dilates blood vessels and then causes them to constrict, reducing the pressure needed for a strong erection. When you combine these two foods, you get a surge of oxidative stress, a blow to liver function, and a double whammy to the vascular system. The result? Lower levels of nitric oxide, a chemical necessary for blood flow in the penis, delayed erections, and a slow, insidious decline in sexual function. I've seen it countless times. You may think you're enjoying a manly dinner, but your body is screaming for help. Here's what I want to ask you today. How often do you combine red meat with alcohol? Be honest. Leave a comment below and share your habits. This is a place for honest conversations between real men. And stick around, because next I'm going to tell you about a combination that not only affects your penis, it can quietly damage your brain. And once it starts, there's no stopping it. Are you starting to see a pattern? Let's continue. Let me ask you a personal but important question. Have you ever opened a cold soda while eating, say, with some smoked sausage, ribs, or a grilled hot dog on the weekend? Maybe you've been doing it for years without thinking twice. It seems like a great combination, doesn't it? A carbonated drink, rich, smoky flavor. It's comforting, familiar, harmless. But what if I told you that this combination is doing something deadly dangerous beneath the surface? Something that could rob you of the very essence of what makes you a man. Here's what most men don't know. Carbonated drinks, especially cola, contain high amounts of phosphoric acid. And smoked or canned foods, they're loaded with chemical preservatives like nitrates and nitrites. Individually, your body can handle them. But together, they do something dangerous. They block your body's ability to absorb zinc, one of the most important minerals for male sexual health. And when zinc levels drop, everything starts to fall apart. Zinc is the silent force behind testosterone production. It improves sperm quality. It supports libido. It protects the prostate. Without it, your desire disappears. Erections weaken. Your confidence begins to crumble. I've seen it happen to men who were still strong, still working out, still taking supplements, but felt exhausted. No energy, no decide. Why? Because despite all their efforts, their bodies were zinc deficient. And what's even worse, you won't feel it right away. There are no warning signs. No saden, just a slow, gradual fading of the fire that once defined your masculinity. It's the kind of mistake that sneaks up on you until it's too late to fix it. That's why I want you to understand this clearly. If you ignore this warning, if you continue to combine carbonated drinks with smoked or processed meat, you risk losing your sexual activity for life, and no pills will help. You won't just feel tired. You will feel defeated. But it doesn't have to end that way. Start by cutting back on carbonated drinks. Give up smoked meat if possible. Maintain your zinc levels with clean, natural foods. Believe me, your body will thank you. Your partner will thank you. And most importantly, you will feel the difference. So I want to know, how often do you drink carbonated drinks or eat smoked meat? Be honest in the comments. Let's support each other in making smarter choices. Let me introduce you to Frank. Frank is 70 years old, retired, and a former truck driver. When he came to see me, he wasn't in pain, but he was concerned. Doctor, I just don't feel like myself anymore. I have no energy, no interest in sex. I feel empty. We ran some tests. His testosterone levels were normal, but his zinc levels were dangerously low, and zinc is vital for testosterone, sperm quality, and sex drive. So I asked him about his diet. Every day, Frank drank soda with his lunch. And on the weekends, smoked meat, jerky ribs, you name it. He thought it was harmless. But this combination, phosphoric acid in soda plus preservatives in smoked meat, was preventing his body from absorbing zinc. As soon as we eliminated soda and reduced his smoked meat intake, everything changed. Within a month, he became more energetic, slept better, and yes, his sex drive returned. Here's the truth. This daily combination is a silent killer. It not only ruins your gut, but also deprives your body of what supports your sex life. Ignore this, and no pills or effort will save your manhood. Be honest. How often do you drink soda or eat smoked foods? Write in the comments. Let's talk about it. Let me ask you something. Have you ever ended a hot day with a scoop of mint chocolate chip ice cream? Or maybe you've chewed on a mint candy after dinner and then washed it down with a big glass of milk. It seems harmless, even refreshing. But here's the hidden danger. Mint and dairy products, especially when combined, can seriously disrupt your sexual function. Here's how. Mint, especially menthol, suppresses testosterone levels. It cools not only your breath, but also your libido. Now add dairy products, especially milk or ice cream, which can increase estrogen levels and cause inflammation in the body. Combine these two ingredients, and you have a combination that slowly suppresses your sexual energy, dulls your desire, and lowers your hormone levels. One of my former patients, 66-year-old Gary, had just such a habit. Every evening after dinner, he would eat a bowl of mint ice cream. He thought it helped him fall asleep. But over time, he noticed that his desire had decreased. His erections were not as strong. He didn't feel like himself. We eliminated the combination of mint and dairy products. Within a few weeks, his energy and vigor began to return. He looked at me and said, "I never thought dessert could be holding me back." That's the whole point. Most men have no idea about this. This combination doesn't make headlines, but it destroys your sex hormones behind the scenes. So let's be honest. If you want to stay energetic, stop mixing mint and dairy products. This cool dessert can freeze your manhood from the inside out. Do you eat mint ice cream or chew mint candies with dairy desserts? Share in the comments. It's time to talk openly about this. If you have listened to me this far, you have already taken the most important step. You have started to take care of your health, and that is stronger than any pills or promises. Here is what I want you to remember. It is not your age that is holding you back, but what you have not been told. Most men over 60 still have the strength, energy, and potential for deep, satisfying intimate relationships. Often, all that's missing is the right knowledge, an understanding of how certain everyday habits can quietly undermine your energy, desire, and self-confidence. But you don't have to accept this decline. You are not outdated. You are not finished. And you are definitely not powerless. Your body is still capable of vitality. Your mind still craves connection. And there is still a fire burning in your soul. When you start making smarter choices about what you do, how you live, and how you take care of yourself, everything will change. Here's my challenge for you. Write in the comments what part of this message resonated with you the most. Share your age, where you are from, and how you feel. Let's create a community of strong, wise men who are no longer silent. And if you haven't already, subscribe. This isn't just another health channel. This is your space for truth, for growth, and for getting back the life you deserve. Because aging isn't the end. It's the beginning of your next, and possibly most powerful, chapter. Let's walk this path together.